G'day everyone, welcome back to Clooney Garage. It's Fred here. It's Easter Sunday. We're going to bring a brand new video. Top 5 mods for $500 or less. Let's get there. Duck's Guts. For those of you that are new to the channel, we've got a variety of different race cars. We just went out racing yesterday. We've got a VP Rock replica we're building here. We've got a 1000 horsepower VF Commodore, and we've got a NASCAR powered VE Commodore Ute. And over our time and experience racing and modifying cars, we thought we'd bring all the content to you at home, all about mods on a budget, performance oriented, and those track day enthusiasts that want to get the most out of their Commodore. Glad to know that none of these mods today that we're going to talk about require modifying the engine. We cover that in another series of episodes on how to modify your Commodore and get up to 700 kilowatts if that's your thing. But today's video is all about handling, performance, steering, driver comfort. Let's go. One of the biggest things about these Commodores are they're a big car, 1800 kilos in the VE/VF models. Stopping these things is a real handful, and if you've got a VE SS or a VF SS model, you might actually have the stock sort of, two-spot calipers on the front, or if you're lucky enough to get a red line, you've got some Brembos. So we'll talk about those people who might be unlucky enough to have the two-spot calipers, and they're not too bad for day-to-day driving, but the stock pads are pretty terrible. So we recommend, if you're budget-oriented and conscious, you get yourself some little Bendix Ultimates. They're not too bad. Probably don't take them on the racetrack though. If you head to the track, and these won't break the bank either, got these Hawk ceramic pads, and these are pretty serious actually. They take a little while to warm up, but really good stopping power. And if you match them with the right sort of rotor, something like a DBA T3 sort of rotor, you'll have no issues at all. And again, they won't be like the HSV brakes, but then again, you're not spending, $8,000 on an ultimate brake kit. We recommend pads, rotors, decent set of pads, $300-400. You can get your DBA rotors, your T2 or T3s, just on $500. And they're talking about the fronts primarily there. And if you're so inclined, you can do the rears as well. But again, if you're going to do your brakes and an upgrade for $500, make sure you put some decent brake fluid in. So we always use a bit of 10/10, and we use some Castrol racing fluid for our racing car VF as well. Next thing on the list is to get some bushes, particularly around the front. And Super Pro do a great package in terms of your front control arms and are all around your McPherson struts. I can't recommend this enough, particularly if you're going to go with an aggressive wheel alignment, which we'll talk about again in a second. But you can get a Super Pro bush kit for the front between $300 to $400, and I'm putting links in all the description for all these things. And we've done this, and again, you might have to go to a machine shop to get some of your old bushes pressed out, but these come under $500. Once you've got your bushes sorted out, you've got to get a good wheel alignment, and a wheel alignment will cost anywhere between $110 for a basic wheel alignment, depending on what shop you go to, all the way up maybe to the top of your budget of $500, depending if you're getting a full chassis tuning and alignment done too. And it can obviously skyrocket through there as well, but just to get a basic wheel alignment, get some negative camber in the front and the rear. If you've got the standard shocks, you may not be able to get camber on the front. Depends if you've got some coilovers or some aftermarket strut adjustments, so you can actually get the camber in, or even some camber bolts. One of the best things we've done is actually a toe out adjustments. We just tried that on the racetrack yesterday, transformed the car. So we adjusted 2mm of toe out, an amazing feeling on turn in. It does induce a little bit of oversteer, but if you want a really cheap modification, a wheel alignment, well under $500, well worth it. Alright, so there's some different mods in today's video. That's not all about chasing power and having the world's most powerful Commodore, and that'll make you go faster on the straights, and it might be a bit of a handful around corners as well. But the mods I've shared with you today around brakes and suspension setup and getting your right bushes in to hold the alignment properly, investing in some driver training, and getting a better connection and a feel to the car, Those mods, all under $500. You don't need to do them all at the same time as well. If you're a bit budget oriented and conscious, you can sort of step up to these mods. And different to our other mod videos where each of the mods sort of builds on their own as well. So apart from today, it's the suspension bushes and the wheel alignment, they sort of go together, but everything else you can do independently. On that note, have a good Easter, catch you later.